Hello there, welcome to Alvarez's Diecast Customs. Today we're going to be working on this Matchbox Ford Cortina. This was from around 1970 they were produced. They were also part of the Superfast range. This particular one here looks like it's been quite well played with. It's also been given a heavy coat of silver paint by the previous owners. So let's just take a closer look at him. Doesn't really roll on those wheels, sort of seized up. It's got a metal base. Quite a bit of sort of corrosion damage to that. You can see the silver paint. It appears to have been bronze before. Some paint on the windows as well. They're also quite sort of cloudy and scratched. Hopefully we can restore those. These wheels I'm not really feeling. Quite interesting sort of mechanism at the front there to allow you to turn the wheels. Yeah, not feeling the wheels on this. I'm going to see if I can replace them with something else. It's got opening doors and thankfully a right-hand drive, just as it should be. It's also quite small. It's certainly smaller than the Hot Wheels and other Matchboxes I've got. So here's for scale, I've got a banana. As you can see, it's pretty damn small. So let's get on with taking this thing apart. As you can see, it's only got the one rivet. It uses the front grille to hook into the body to hold it tight. Now I'm going to start off with this 2mm drill bit and then work up to a 5mm. Just using a normal household drill. So here we go, starting off with a 2mm. Just slowly working it into the hole there. You don't want to force it or anything, just let the tool do its work. And we work up to this 5mm one. This will take the remaining piece of the post's head off. And then after that we just drill down again with the 2mm piece to get to the required depth we need for the screws I'm going to use. There we go. Comes off nice and clean. It's got some suspension unit made of plastic on the base there. Just pop this interior out. Bit dirty. Give that a clean. There's that window piece. It's sort of held in by a little sort of metal button. You can pick that out. So we'll get on with stripping the paint on this now. There's my jar of paint stripper. Just drop that in there. Shake it up for a bit. And we leave that for around 30 minutes to an hour to strip the paint off. After that we just take it out and run it under a tap and use an old toothbrush to scrape the paint off. So here we go back to the base again. As I'm not going to be using these wheels or axles, I'm going to go about removing them. So I'll just use my side cutters, just cut this off. That's gone forever, no doubt. You find it a few years later stuck in one of your socks. Just cut the end of this one off. There goes that bit into oblivion. Now we need to sort out some new wheels for this, so I've gone to see our goddess Super Pochaco and see what she's got for us. Ah. Those for me? Nice. Let's take a look. Well, they're quite sort of classic looking, aren't they? The axles in there as well, and they just look like the right sort of width as well to fit in those arches on that thing. So thanks for that. So after stripping the paint and just giving it a good clean, I'm now going to just clean up some of the areas on the body where there seems to be some sort of moulding lines and things like that. I just like to use these diamond files and gently file it away. Don't need to press too hard. Also just cleaning up the end of the bonnet here. It's a bit rough. It looked like it had been smashed into some rocks or a wall a few times, so just cleaning that up. Also just cleaning up the rear bumper as well. It's a bit of a dent on the front one, we'll just file that down. Again, just cleaning up around the grille as well. We'll just get this onto sanding down with the wet sponges. This is how it came out. The base also, I gave that a good wire wheel and went over that with the sponges as well. Cleans it up nicely. Just going to go about fitting these wheels ahead of paint, just so we get the right fitment. As they are, they've got this sort of extruding piece. We're going to have to remove this on all four of them. I just use some fine sandpaper and gently rub the back of those wheels on there and just remove that bit there that we don't need anymore. Go, I've done all four. As you can see, that's been removed. Makes them roughly the same width as the ones that I removed as well. So makes it a lot easier to work with. Just going to insert the axles into one of them on each side. Then we can work out just how long we need these axles to be. Just place it into the chassis. They fit quite nicely on that. Just test fitting it on the body, making sure they clear the wheel arches. Yeah, plenty of room. Can also still turn the front mechanism as well. So just go about clipping the ends off of these. I've marked it with a blue Sharpie just about where I need it to be cut. Just cut those ends off. And all it needs is a little dab of super glue on the end of those axles I've just cut off, and they can glue straight into those wheels. There they are. Just test fitting again, they fit perfectly. And there's that mechanism working just fine. It rolls nicely as well. Perfect. So I'm going to get this painted up now. I went with a Halford's Ford Roman bronze colour. I felt that was quite a classic sort of colour for the thing. This was directly out of a spray can as well. I initially went over with a grey primer from a spray can, then went over with the bronze. Did a couple of coats off the bronze, just to give it the depth I needed. I also did the chassis as well, as you can see. And there's that interior. I've given that a quick clean under the tap with some soap and water. We can get on with detailing now. I like to use some Revell aluminium silvery paint just to detail some of the chrome areas on the body. Just going to go around these the sort of tail lights on this. Pick those out with the silver. There's that. Just going to do the door handles as well while I'm at it. Also, in order to detail the front bumper and grille, I just use a bit of masking tape to give me a sharp line to work on, and just use a wooden toothpick to press it into place so the paint doesn't bleed on underneath it. We'll give that a good coating of that paint again. And also on the rear bumpers. Now onto this interior. I'm just going to go over with a base colour of matte black. The plastic it's made from is sort of quite waxy, so it needed a couple of coats of this. It didn't really want to stick to it very well. So there's the first coat. Once that's dry, I'll go over with the second one. Now on the front grille, I'm just going to pick out some extra detailing on it. I'm going to be using some Citadel Nuln oil. This is essentially a black wash. Just run it over the front grille and it all finds the depths of everything and really picks out some nice details with it. Also just going to paint in those tail lights as well. As you can see, I've done some clear orange for the indicators, and I'm just going to use some Tamiya clear red to pick out the brake lights. Just going to paint in the number plate on the rear as well in yellow. It's a pretty standard colour for UK cars to have yellow number plates of a certain year. Now I'm also going to pick out some extra details on this with the Molotow chrome pen. I'll be doing the front grille bit to begin with. Just going to go around the outside of it. Just gives a nice contrast to the sort of darker silvery colour that I painted it in previously. And also on the body, I'm going to go around the windows, the front and rear with the same chrome pen. Just highlighting those. Gives a nice effect, I think. Set that down and let that dry for a few hours. It does take a while, this chrome pen. On the wheels, I'm just going to give those a quick coat of the silver paint as well. There we go. There's all four of them done. And there's that interior. I did another coat of matte black on there, and then I went over the seats with a clear gloss just to bring out the leathery effect on them. The wheels, I also gave them a coating of the Nuln oil. Gives it a little extra depth to that. And there's that front grille bit. We'll just go about removing this masking tape. And there's our body. Now we seem to be forgetting something. It's that window piece. I went ahead and quickly sanded it down with some 4000 grit sandpaper. It's taken most of the silver paint off now. It's slightly foggy because of the sanding, so what I'm going to be using is this Maguire's Plastex. Works really well on sort of clear plastics like this. Just use a little drop of it on my finger. Just go about applying it to the areas I need to polish it up. And I'm literally just going to use my finger to polish this up. Just work it into the plastic. There's that after a polish and a wipe down. Looks as good as new. Very happy with that. So I've done a good clear coat on the body and the base on this, and we can get on about building it back up now. There's that interior. Do like how the clear gloss works on those seats. And there's that base, as I said, that's been given a good clear coat. Directly out of a spray can again. I still need to get myself an airbrush and a compressor at some point, but time and money involved for that. There's that window piece. Factory fresh by the look of that. Just pop it all back together now. Window piece should just snap back in on that little button it locates on. Just slot that interior in. Go about threading these wheels on now. Press them on tightly. It's a very interesting sort of steering mechanism on that. Quite impressive for its time, really. Need to hook the front grille around the front of the body on there. It locates onto that. Then I use my 5mm self-tapping screws that go directly into the holes I drilled in previously. So we'll just get that screwed on nice and tightly. Now before I reveal it, let's take a look at what we started with. As it was quite a tired looking little Ford Cortina. Some skinny little wheels that just didn't really look right. I felt there was a lot of potential there. So let's take a look at what we ended up with. And there we go. Very happy with how this one came out. Really like the bronze paint that I used on there. Very classic look to it. And those wheels turned out great in my opinion. So let's take a closer look at him now. He rolls quite nicely as well still. Another great clear coat as well. And you'll notice I've kept the tow hook on there. Jim Silva will be very happy with that. Done that for you, man. Yeah, very pleased with how the windows came out on there as well. I was worried that they would be too far gone with the paint and scratches that they'd received. But they came out very clean and clear. There's that interior. Little extra detail there. I also painted the door cards in black as well, just to let them blend in a bit more. And there's the base. Definitely like painting the bases on a lot of my cars. I think it ties everything together, gives a really clean look to them. So I hope you like what I've done here. Let me know down in the comments what you think. Also if there was anything that I should have done differently. So let's just take a few more pictures of him. Take a closer look at it. So let's go take a look at our goddess Super Pochaco again and see what she's got for us next time. Oh, what's that? Nice. Let's take a look at this. So these Zuru metal machines. Never heard of them before. Looks quite interesting. Cool. Wonder what we could do with that on the next one. Thanks for that. So this has been Alvarez's Diecast Customs. I hope you have enjoyed watching. and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.